were his friends. His mom took him to life skills counseling and enrolled him in learning strategies class. He actually enjoyed the learning strategies class and even made a few friends. He quickly became the class clown, as he enjoyed making others laugh by telling jokes and talking in funny accents. His mom also hired him to work at her office, making copies, filing, and shredding. He enjoyed having a job and a purpose. He worked a few other jobs, almost all in the IT department, as a quality assurance developer, as well as a software developer where he worked on a wine shopping app. Jackson graduated high school and almost immediately enrolled at Seneca College in New York in 2011. Fellow classmates still noticed Jackson's odd behavior, such as walking around campus with his head down, hands clasped, and making meowing noises. He was always early to class and would sit by himself. When he was speaking in class or to other people, he would blink rapidly and squeeze his eyes shut. While his behavior was odd, classmates said that he seemed harmless, and they weren't scared of him. Jackson started as a research assistant at Seneca's Center for Development of Open Technology, which he seemed to really enjoy. He also built his own Android app that helped people find free parking spots. In 2017, just one semester before Jackson was supposed to graduate, he decided to drop out of college and enroll in the Canadian Armed Forces. Unfortunately, after only 16 days, Jackson asked to be released from the recruit school. Much like when he was in school, Jackson became the butt of all jokes while in the recruit school, and he was constantly bullied. He didn't adapt well to military life. Others said that he didn't seem violent or angry. He just failed the physical demands. Jackson had dreams of becoming a pilot, a dream that quickly disappeared. He became involved in the incel community online. We spoke about the incel community in episode 13, when we covered the Isla Vista shooting.
I felt kind of proud of him for his acts of bravery.
Okay, all right. And what about how you started to change your thinking? Was any of that going on?
I was starting to feel radicalized at that time.
As stated in that episode, the term incel comes from, quote, involuntary celibates. A female Canadian university student created the term incel when she started a website where she could discuss her sexual inactivity with others. The woman started the website in 1993, and today states she is appalled at what the term incel has become. She never wanted the term to turn into men blaming women for their sexual problems. To be more clear, an incel is described as a person who is unable to find a romantic or sexual partner, even though they want one.
It's involuntarily celibate. These are young people, mostly men, who feel that they have been forced into celibacy, that they haven't had success with women in romantic and sexual relationships. And over time, that can really curdle into some really resentful sentiments about women in general.
Throughout his interview with police, Jackson continued to use the terms incels, chads, and Stacies. The names Chad and Stacy are used within the incel community to indicate males who are muscular and tend to sleep with a lot of women. The names Chad and Stacy are used within the incel community to indicate males who are muscular and tend to sleep with a lot of women, known as the Chads, and women who are attractive and only date Chads are referred to as Stacies.
Halloween of 2013, I was attending a house party, and I walked in and attempted to socialize with some girls. However, they all laughed at me and held the arms of the big guys instead.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
I felt very angry. That they would, because I considered myself a supreme gentleman, I was angry that they would give their love and affection to obnoxious brutes.
Before Jackson committed his tirade of destruction, he made a Facebook status in the parking lot of the Ryder van rental place, stating the incel rebellion had begun, much like what the shooter in the Isla Vista shootings did. After his arrest, Jackson was immediately taken to the police station to be questioned. He took part in a 4-hour interview, where investigators started to peel away the layers that made up Jackson, They learned that he had zero remorse for his attack, and that he was proud of himself for accomplishing his mission. He told the investigators that he was a virgin and never had a girlfriend, and admitted that his intention was to use the van as a weapon. He also made it clear that he hoped his attack would inspire copycat attacks.
I know of several other guys over the internet who feel the same way.
On the day after the attack, April 24th, 2018, Jackson had his first court appearance. His father attended the hearing, looking tired, with sunken eyes. As he left the courthouse, he was surrounded by different media personnel shouting various questions. He ignored them as he got into the vehicle and drove away. On this date, Jackson was officially charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 13 counts of attempted murder. On May 10th, 2018, he was charged with 3 additional counts of attempted murder. Jackson's defense team fixated on when Jackson was booked into the jail, when it is alleged that the booking officer asked Jackson if he had any illnesses. This is a question that is asked of every person that is booked into the jail. Jackson replied with yes. I am a murdering piece of shit.
First of all, you don't have to agree with it, but do you understand why you're here?
I understand.
Okay. I got to go through a questionnaire. Simple questionnaire we do for everybody, yes or no answers, okay? But it's important that you speak so that the microphones can pick you up. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Are you suffering from any recent injuries?
No.
Are you suffering from any illnesses?
Yes, I'm a murdering piece of shit.
His defense attorney team is trying to get the statement thrown out, stating that his right to remain silent was violated. Prosecutors have argued back that he didn't have to answer the question. Jackson's trial is set for sometime in April of 2020. He has elected to have a bench trial, which is in front of a judge rather than a trial in front of a jury. Several victims have filed civil lawsuits against Jackson and the Ryder Truck Rental Company. Amir Kiamarsi was a chemistry professor who was injured in the attack. He was left with a brain injury, spinal fractures, a pulmonary embolism, memory loss, vertigo, anxiety, and depression. Amir sued for $6 million. A nurse who was also injured sustained a spinal cord injury, as well as brain damage. She can't move her body below her neck and can't breathe without a machine. She has sued for $14 million. As you can see, not all mass casualty attacks involve an active shooter. They can involve something as mundane as a van. It is up to us as a whole to keep each other safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Active Shooter, the podcast. Remember, if you see something, say something. There's no telling how many lives you may be saving.
Active shooter, reports of an active shooter, active shooter.
Active shooter mass casualty incidents.
Make sure to check us out on social media. We have a discussion group on Facebook. Just search for Active Shooter, the podcast discussion group. You can also find us on Instagram at Active the Podcast and Twitter at Podcast Active. For just $1 a month, you can get access to ad-free episodes, early release episodes when available, and a shout-out on the show. Just go to patreon.com/Active the Podcast. Thank you, and be safe.